Awakening Blueprint, Book 1 of 3, The Higher Self, How to Embody the Dreams of Your Soul and Blueprint of Mastery, written by BenArion, as read by Lucille Kuhn. You can be fully awake instead of living on unconscious autopilot. A lot of what I'm talking about we already know within us, but there are different stages in our lives where we think we know and we really know from our heart, and also feel an urge of readiness to integrate the change in our lives. Change comes when you are open to receive it. You can't force change from any outside source. You will simply feel ready. Knowing evolves and get different meanings depending on your life experiences. I've noticed that you get a whole new meaning when you have integrated knowledge through what we call action and experience. More than 97% of our thoughts and behavior from day to day are almost identical. You think you're in control of your life, but to a certain extent, you're simply an extension of your past experiences. We may think we know a lot of things, but we will understand it differently and be able to connect with a deeper understanding when we move through emotionally charged experiences. It almost transforms into something new that you couldn't grasp before. Now, when you can relate to these feelings, you will have a humble understanding of your surroundings and other people who may go through similar things. The difference between those who manifest their dream life and those who do not is that they don't give up. They know that eventually they will reach their goals, but they have to apply physical action and decisions, which is like planting seeds of intention that will be reflected back to you. They do not resist change and are very open to learning new things. Chapter 2. Why the subconscious mind is your autopilot and how you can control it. We interpret this world with our physical senses and filter it through our emotions and beliefs. When we take that bus ride or walk in town, we take a lot of the information in on autopilot. We may see something that triggers us to think a thought or evoke an emotional response. It's like the outside world is playing with our mind on a subconscious level. You've heard the term, what you focus on will grow. But do you understand the power behind this sentence? We feel drained when we give our power away to someone or something outside of ourselves. It is often an unconscious reaction to give more focus to the problem instead of the solution, instead of simply stopping to feed the problem, which strengthen your inner power. I want to give you an analogy. It is common to give things power that actually has none by itself, or focus on something that isn't really a problem except within your mind. A tree in the forest grows by itself, in harmony with the sun and the earth. It is not dependent on your focus to grow, as it is already provided for by nature. Let's say you gave that tree all of your focus every day to add some energy to this tree. Would it be necessary? No, because it's already provided for by nature in its abundance. Where you see lack, there may be abundance. So you are giving energy to something that doesn't need it or would be fine without it. This is a typical and common pattern in humanity. We give our power to things that don't even matter. A lot of our problems are illusionary. Taking the first step and to truly understand ourselves is to know that we don't know. We see this a lot in humanity's everyday lives. We feed trivial things that have nothing to do with the solution itself. Trying to change people's beliefs or adapt to other people's circumstances is an example of typical subconscious behavior which will drain our inner power. You own your thoughts. You can only change your behavior and be an example of change yourself. We could live more fulfilling lives if we understood the power of our subconscious mind. Take your power back by choosing to focus on what works in your life and what you are thankful for. No one outside of you can decide what is right for you or what you should believe. Do you want outer circumstances to be able to push your buttons and make you react in ways that aren't the highest good for you and drain your mental and physical energy? Or do you want to react automatically in ways that give you a sense of choice and fuel your mind with positive energy and empowerment? We are where we are due to our limited beliefs about ourselves and the world. We get stuck in other people's emotional dramas. You are the source of your life experiences, and you can change it no matter what. We put labels on things we see, feel, and hear, and we do this in a way that is mostly on autopilot. But where do these automatic reactions, feelings, and thoughts come from? Because they come from somewhere. It's all about the subconscious mind. It's like a deep well that will give you whatever you believe is possible, but it may be clogged by limited beliefs that have been there since your early childhood or negative life experiences that come up every time you have the inspiration to change. You have to understand that your subconscious mind is like a program running in the background in your life. You can record a new tape, and your physical senses will start to reflect this. You've probably heard about the powerful ways of hypnosis, where people change and believe they are someone else. The subconscious believes and experiences things as fact and gives you impulses that either can give you the life you want, filled with empowered thoughts, freedom, and abundance, or a life of resistance, doubt, and fear. Next chapter. The subconscious mind is our autopilot. The automatic mind is great when you drive your car or when running out in the street and a car comes towards you and you instinctively know what to do. You don't need to think. It's just automatic. This is due to that it's taken as a fact. You know this so well, you don't need to learn it again. It's a part of your subconscious knowing. What if your thoughts and actions would be like this on all levels when it comes to how you see yourself? What if you could believe you were worthy of success, love, and abundance, just as you simply know and take for granted how to drive a car? This is possible. You have, to begin with, your thoughts. This is where your power is. But you need practical tools for this, because you can't change overnight with just an attitude of trying to change, because your beliefs are deeply rooted. Most of your negative self-talk and emotional unbalance is due to automatic patterns that are activated by all sorts of influences you aren't aware of, and it hinders you to manifest what you truly want. That's why I want to give you a practical tool to use right away. You can integrate the same kind of steadfast knowing and automatic response when it comes to choosing positive thoughts, even reacting in a totally different way when something unprepared for happens. I don't say it's easy, but it's possible. You have to be clear about what you want and why you want it, and you have to be willing to repeat things often, as repetition is the secret to reprogramming your subconscious mind. You also want to start using mental imaging, like visualizing an outcome as if it's already yours, and be that attitude in your daily life. Even if you don't see any evidence of change, you have to continue. That's why it's important to do things in life you are passionate about, as you don't want to continue with things you consider boring. If it's something you truly are passionate about, you will want to continue and work on yourself to reach your desired outcome. Life will multiply your effort tenfold or even more if you work on yourself. People and circumstances will come into your life to support you. You can call it luck, or you can call it synchronicity, as your inner life is weaved together with the outer world. What you believe about the world out there is a direct reflection of your deeper beliefs and what you think you are worthy of attracting in your life. People hear your thoughts and projections and will help you to magnify your state of being and beliefs, no matter what it is, even if it's a positive or a state where you feel drained. You will attract more of the same, as like attracts like. Next chapter. You attract what you subconsciously believe, without exception. You have to get to know yourself so well that you simply will know what is good for you and what's not, what to focus on and what not to focus on. A perfect example is dramas. The dramas in the outside world aren't yours to solve. You can only solve your dramas within yourself. You are the only one that can choose to say no or change your internal drama. The world will continue as it is, but you can change the way you look upon it. Your state of being will decide the life you have and what circumstances you attract. I really love this quote. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. Earl Nightingale. Understand that your closest relationships and worldview is based on your beliefs. You can't trick yourself into thinking differently, and it will not change until you decide to be true to yourself and see your relationships as a reflection and extension of you. The act of judging anyone outside of yourself is reinforcing that thing within you. It's like you're projecting your guilt on someone else, and it may feel good for a while, but in the long run, it will not help. You have to work on your subconscious projections and make them conscious. It is not easy, as I have said, but it's possible if you have the right tools. I train my mind every day, as I know that what I think about others is a direct reflection of what I think about myself. See it as a blessing if you consciously can see what you project on others, as it's the first step to understanding that you are responsible for your life and your feelings and how you treat other people. Don't wait for it to happen. Don't wait for any outside force to change your life. You are the force which is stemming from you. So what do I mean by that? You have to train your mind and repeat things until they become a habit and have a clear core why, or else you will be like a seed in the wind. It will never be able to land in the soil and grow. I have come to understand that what we call the higher dimensions or other worlds aren't as important as the here and now, which is tangible and which you can change and affect. There is no world outside of you, as you choose what to focus on, and that focus is almost always automatically projected, and it's a step-by-step process to integrate your vision and apply things consciously in your life. Don't let anyone tell you that someone else is responsible for your outcome. The draining drama of negativity is within your life because you, in some way, approve it on a subconscious level. It's never about changing someone else. It's about you changing your perspective and choosing to react differently. How would you like people to treat you if you did something contradictory or something else that you didn't mean, as if it was an unconscious reaction? I don't think you would want people to judge you for that, as you have a part of you that is more than they can see. So you have to let people make their mistakes, just as you know you can make mistakes. Next chapter. Are you living your life on autopilot? The next time something happens, and you may be fast to judge, see it from their perspective. If you were them, how would you like to be treated? Now you respond from a higher place of knowing, which will reprogram your subconscious. As you treat that person, you treat yourself, and you will start to implement this step by step, in small ways at first, but you will understand more and more that people would treat you the same way. As you see people, that's how they will see you. What we see around us in the external world isn't the truth. It's just the surface of our beliefs. Why judge an illusionary surface when instead you can use and invest that inner power that you have to forgive and fuel yourself with determination and positive feelings, which in turn will inspire those around you? Blaming others or projecting that it's someone else's fault will make you feel powerless instead of empowered. When you go to the Tivoli, you maybe choose to go on board that roller coaster ride because it's thrilling, but remember, you did so by your free will, and you know that the steep hill will come where you will get the wind in your hair, and you can't do much about it other than relax and enjoy the ride. It is the same with life. It's a choice you've made on some level. You can't change the physical experience, but you can change your perspective on it. Some things we continue to do, even if they're not helping us, due to our subconscious beliefs about ourselves. You need to take your power back, and you do that by owning your thoughts and owning your experience. Remember that what you see in the world as events, people's drama, etc., is your interpretation of it, filtered by your beliefs, and it's only the surface of things, not the actual truth of how it is. Nothing is what it seems to be. You can only work on yourself and be the change you want to see in the world. This is something that is within reach and that you truly can connect with and know, as everything outside of yourself is mostly a distraction from taking responsibility for your life. No one knows what's best for you except yourself. The thing is, most of the chaos in the world can't be stopped until we choose to stop and acknowledge our inner chaos and choose to work on ourselves first. I want to show you that you are the one that is in charge of your life and no one else. There are techniques and tools that will help you to unlock your inner power. You already have these skills within you, but they are being suppressed or not being worked on at a conscious level. Next chapter. You can practice the simple yet profound miracle of forgiveness to change your life by understanding the illusion of separation. I know that I am responsible for my projections towards people and circumstances, no one else. You can heal the duality mind, and this is what this blueprint will hopefully bring forth, and hopefully some resistance too, because then I am serving my fellow brothers and sisters. Love is about forgiveness. With this blueprint, I want to broaden your horizons of belief. I want to dive into what I will call hardcore spirituality. People often just hear what they want to hear. We can only see and hear what we can accept within our frames of perspective, and we tend to reject anything else as untrue or even dark. This is duality. In fact, duality is also just an illusionary idea. We believe that there are right and wrong things within this world, when it's actually a grand, unconscious mind soap opera. People act and behave as they do because they don't fully understand that we are one mind, playing that we are different ego minds. People feel threatened because they believe that what they are can be taken away from them, but it cannot. It is an illusion. I am warning you that this blueprint is going to be hardcore, and some of you will not like it. What you see within this world is an illusion. Yes, we use the word illusion because it's not real, because it's not truth. A dream is filled with what we call dream symbols, and you know that all of these symbols show you what you believe about yourself. We really think that all the hate and differences are someone else, but it's our unconscious mind projecting itself. Do you feel guilt or feel afraid of your own unconscious mind? This is what makes it so real, because you feel afraid and you feel it can hurt you. But if you know that what you see is within you, You can choose to forgive what you see and feel because it's not yours. It's your belief that you are separated from God that makes you feel guilt and fear. If you did have so-called conscious dreams at night, would you engage and believe in all the dream symbols appearing in front of you? Within this dream, you could think, oh no, I'm a victim and I believe in what I see. But you may realize that what you see is a projection of your own mind. And when you discover that within the dream, you would tell yourself, but wait, I'm not here. I'm at home in my bed and I'm safe. So I will forgive these images within my mind. And you may also tell someone within your dream that you are safe because you are not there. And they may look at you and say, you're crazy. This is how reality is. It's not more real or less real than a dream. You think you were here, but you're just a projection of the mind. You are actually with God, always. In the moment when you realize that you are the dreamer, you know that you are the cause of it and not a victim. So you change focus. But if you're unconscious of the realization that you're dreaming, you will believe in your own projections and feel lost within them. Someone who has awakened from the dream will still be within the dream world, but not of it, as you say. So wake up from your own dream. Freedom is knowing that nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lays the peace of God. From the teachings of A Course in Miracles. Everything you see out there in the world is actually a representation of your conscious and unconscious mind in symbols. Those events, people, and circumstances that make you feel horrible or disgusted are actually a part of your inner suppressed unconscious mind, and you think that it's a separate mind outside of yourself, but it's actually a mirror of what is within you. You project your guilt, fear, and judgment towards these outer events because it makes you feel better about it, because it's not yours. You are only judging yourself, a part of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge within you. Your mind won't be healed through judgment or guilt. There is no guilt and there is no judgment in truth. That is something we made up. You think on one level that you would not do what you see your brothers and sisters do to each other, but in truth, it's in your unconscious mind revealing itself in events, but you've denied it's there. You think it's separate from you. So instead of you acting these fears out within your life, you see it outside yourself as someone else doing it. The only way to be freed from what you don't like, the hatred and so on, is to forgive what you see around you, because this will heal your unconscious mind and it will be taken care of for the highest good of all. This is applicable on every level. Forgiveness is the key. You transmute the collective mind through forgiveness because the mind is holographic in nature. All the wars, all the hatred on this planet are actually a part of your unconscious mind that you view as another part or angle of yourself in the one mind, acting out all of your inner fears, darkest beliefs, and so on. You can't escape it by blaming the other. Separation is just an illusion. Even distance time and space are illusions, but this experience, here and now, is designed this way to make it feel real. It's not unreal, but it's not real either. Can your mind grasp this? That it is both? It's neither this nor that. This is also a trick of the mind. Do you think you will be free from the illusion of duality if you continue to believe in separation? You see fragmented parts of your own mind within this world, bringing them back to yourself through forgiveness. Judgment will only keep you stuck in the illusion of separateness. There are no others. There is only one mind, fragmented into what seems to be different minds or souls. These are only symbols or words. People call our individual experience a lot of different things. It's like different companies selling the same products, but they have different logos. God does not promote itself through any advertising agency, but God will help you to find yourself within duality through all of the symbols available. This is why forgiveness helps you to unbrand the mind, going back to a naked state of beingness beyond labels and concepts. You will be given the symbols you need to awaken from the dream of separateness. You are here to find that you are your own home, and that what is outside yourself is within you. Duality is just a grand play that we've gotten lost in because we think it's separate from us. The ego mind is like the most awesome advertising agency on the planet. It wants to brand everything with its own motion picture commercials, logo types, packages, colors, and so on, and make something become what it is not. It's only fancy packaging that we very easily get lured into. People don't want to hear that all of what you see in the world is illusions. There are a lot of companies on planet Earth today that package their products so that they look great, but in truth, they are really empty and shallow, with no value at all. We only give it value due to our inner projections. It's a great trick. The illusions of the separated ego mind are no different. The ego mind will do everything to keep you stuck in this idea that the world is real and important. Enlightenment is when you can be in this world, but not of it, and you can see your brothers and sisters as another you. We are all afraid of accepting that the world is just an illusion, and we all think that the problem is someone else's. People cannot be awakened from the dream too quickly. They would not be ready to accept it, and they would actually want to return to the dream rather than wake up because they are not ready to let go of it. It is as it should be. Ascension is just an experience of evolving into more graceful and harmonious states of being, but it's still just an expression. It's not more real or unreal than any other experience. It's just different levels of awareness. You are like an icebreaker working with spirit within consciousness. You make it easier for other people to access their hearts and awaken. We talk a lot about energies. That's beautiful. But God is even beyond energy. We don't want to hear that our lives are an illusion because we have invested so much belief in our body and this world, and even beyond this world. We should put our trust and hearts in God within us. That is eternal. It's not wrong to be physical, but you will become more lightened up as you say and play with it, as it should be, because you know that God is your true state, and your physical state is just a play expressing itself as symbols. What you see as someone else doing something you don't like and can't agree with is actually another you, projected from what looks like a different perspective. So all the blame, fear projections you make towards these people's actions are actually towards yourself. You are that part of yourself that you don't like out there. Your only way to become free is to forgive. Would you ever judge your brothers and sisters that are you? There are no exceptions to this truth. All hate within this world is actually a call for love. So you can love what you think you see by forgiving it. This reality is like a movie being filmed from many different angles, where each mind is a unique camera angle. The mind is like an advanced movie projector. Would you judge yourself if you knew that every angle was a part of you within this movie called life? It doesn't really matter who is right and who is wrong. It's all illusionary costumes to trick the mind. Some people aren't ready right now to hear that this world is made up and an illusion, and that we have to change the dream to correct it. It will still be a dream, but what if you decided to wake up from the dream and understand that you are the dreamer of this universe and even beyond? What if you could forgive everyone, no matter what they had done? This is not something you learn in one day. It's something you practice until it becomes a habit. And eventually, you don't have to forgive anymore, because you are forgiveness and love. Through forgiveness, you change the whole world. One little event of forgiving someone will cause ripples in the eternal now moment throughout all timelines. Your spiritual awakening is about stepping out of time by choosing forgiveness and realizing that there is no one out there that has done anything wrong that you should judge. Judgment holds you here like glue. It makes it even more real, but by forgiving, you will be free, and you will come home to the one heart of God. You will not find truth in a world of forms, gurus, or ascended masters. The masters know that they are simply way showers to God. They speak to your heart as one, not to the ego. There are many symbols for your own awakening. You have to forgive everyone and therefore heal the illusion of separation. Either you choose to see everyone and everything as separate, or you choose to look through the eyes of Christ. Christ isn't a religious statement that is owned by Christianity. Christ is just a symbolic word for our oneness in God. The illusion works that way. It will always do its best to lure your mind into being occupied by duality and into thinking that good and bad is the true nature of God. God cannot be anything other than whole, complete, love, one. But the ego projects its own guilt and fears onto others because it's not willing to forgive its own illusions of separation. It feels a lot better to blame someone else, which you will think is freedom. As long as you continue to blame anyone for anything, you will not be free. You will be glued to duality and separation. Forgive yourself every time you run into what we call obstacles. These so-called obstacles are merely a symbol for your unconscious mind. An obstacle is a mirror, and it will show you what you need to forgive to feel whole. It's like healing your unconscious, fragmented mind. It is done through forgiveness. Yes, everything in the world that we see as moving images are just symbols for our conscious and unconscious collective mind. Just like a dream, when we dream of things we fear, we will see them as symbols in our dreams, but it's just a dream. Would you really consider what you experience in a dream to be real? You would know it was your mind that projected itself into a dream, and within a dream, you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind, because you are in your bed sleeping. If you could become aware that you are in a dream, i.e., conscious dreaming, you would forgive everyone, because you would know that what they do is not real. It feels real because it was designed this way, but this reality is mostly empty. We give meaning to the symbols by projecting our inner values onto them and calling it real. It's just a projection of our mind. We perceive dimensions as higher or lower, but really there are no higher or lower dimensions, just different states of awareness. Cosmic beings in the fifth dimensional consciousness are more aware that we are all one and know that the body is also not real, only spirit is real. We are great storytellers, and yes, the earth has a plan, but it's up to each and every person what dream they choose to manifest. So there will be as many dreams as there are minds. The goal is to remind the minds that we are all the same mind and that we are one, and to wake up from the dream and live with God beyond time and illusion. But we may project ourselves into this world to support our brothers and sisters because we love to play. Life is a play. Some take it very seriously and some take it very lightly. What matters is your relation to God and not the relation to the physical world. The ascension of this earth is a wonderful event, but it's just like any other dream, a more aware dream. You can totally wake up from this dream as you would wake up in your bed and realize that it was just something you temporarily engaged in, and realize you never left God because you are not in this world as it would seem. You think you are within this world and that you are doing things, but in fact you are in God and projecting yourself into this world, just as you dream something at night, but you are truly in your bed. You can't find it, the truth, in the world of duality. It's just a mind distraction, a never-ending rabbit hole that will keep you busy with all kinds of illusions. What you see and experience within this world as divided is your golden opportunity to forgive and move beyond the illusion of effect and start to understand that you are the cause of it. Your mind cannot hold on to things within this world that have been forgiven. It will simply be undone. You engage in something you think is real, but it's just a symbol of your divided mind. How you look upon others is how you will look upon yourself. There is no other self. There is just I am. You will become so humble that you understand you know nothing about anything, and let go of what you see as true or untrue in the world, because you know that love is within you, and this is what you will be sharing, no matter what people may think. You are living in an illusion, trying to teach people what truth is with illusionary symbols, and it is quite funny. But a teacher always gives hints and points towards the self, where everything stems from. Imagine that you wear two pairs of glasses at the same time. Do you see through the clear glasses of spirit, or do you choose to look through the illusionary, splintered mind? Whatever we want to escape from cannot be accomplished if we are not ready to truly forgive. It's your judgment and blame that makes it real. Forgiveness is a miracle that will enter your life. All things I'm speaking about are metaphoric symbols as written text and are not representing truth in any way. Images and words cannot mirror truth. They can just point the way towards what is already within you. Words are duality. Words are limited. So, understand that I'm humble towards you as a reader. You are the way, and you are the light, and I know you. The word dream can be interpreted in many ways. To dream can feel real or unreal. It all depends on your perspective. When you are aware of your God nature, it will not matter anymore. You will be in the world, but not of it, as you say. You will only be love and heal the world by your simple presence, because God will shine through you. You aren't afraid that nothing is real or unreal, because you will be so in the moment, like an innocent child traveling through eternity. You are a Christ, a child of God. Yes, this sounds really biblical, but I can't put it any other way, so don't misinterpret it. You will truly start to see other people for who they are by listening from your heart without your ego trying to gain attention by being in the spotlight to feel important. You will care for people and they will feel that yourself is unimportant. You will give from a space of unconditional love, not from a limited ego idea of love. You can only find true peace within yourself, not in the world. Therefore, always forgive. People who don't feel good are too attached to the ego and the world. I have gone through it, and I won't go into details, but I have received my part of forgiveness lessons, and what it taught me was simply only love is real. We think life is about energy and different dimensions, but energy is illusion, just as this world is an illusion. It's part of this universal dream. There is an even greater dream beyond this universe. People are afraid of the idea that this world is not real because it seems so real. When you have a dream at night and when you wake up, you just say to yourself, Everything is fine. It was just a dream. And you go about your day. You may reflect on the symbols within your dream and interpret the symbols depending on your state of consciousness. Yes, we will have brighter and more aware experiences of our God nature throughout myriads of worlds and experiences. But the only truth that is cannot be found in symbols within the world. Only if you can forgive the world will you be free and not limited to the projections within a dream world. Ascension is not about going somewhere else or changing anything. It's about waking up from the dream and helping others to wake up from the dream and helping them realize that we are one, playing that we are many. It's so simple because in oneness there is nothing to change. It doesn't matter what you work with because it's not real. It's just you who wants it to be real. You can wake up from the dream of judgment and separation. No matter how much you even want to change people and get them to understand, they will reject and even deny your help. It's called unconditional love to accept this, to be love, but to force not it onto others. People will get all they need from Spirit when they are ready, through their guides, etc. For in fact, it's we who actually help ourselves. We think we get help from someone out there, like a guide or a friend, but it is you who is giving yourself help. Separation is the biggest illusion there is. It's like the biggest trick you can think of, but it's also a beautiful gift as long as you live within it consciously through your heart. The dual mind will always create extraordinary things to make you believe that the world is truth. All the levels of reality are really spectacular, but they are just symbols for truth. You can't go anywhere else because there is nowhere else. It's the space-time illusion that creates our so-called reality. There is no out there. There is no other one. You are already there, and this can be realized through the practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness will help you to release the glue between you and your ego and connect you with the truth of the I am. So it's actually a gift for me if you judge me, because then I am something that you can forgive, and we can be one. I won't judge you for judging me. I forgive you. Remember that a lot of what we hear in channelings, etc., are just symbols that we are ready to hear and can act from. It's either true or untrue. It's just a mirror for our minds, so we can confirm what we believe in. But I think it's time for you to believe in yourself and do what a master would do right now. It does not have to be anything fancy, just something you love. You cannot fail in your mission. That's also an ego idea, that we can fail and do something wrong. We are sleeping Christ beings, all of us, but we have put a lot of layers onto it, like you are a star seed, you are an indigo, and so on. But we need some kind of symbolic language to communicate with, and the different councils within this universe know this. They have to give us symbols because they cannot give us truth that we will understand. You will come to understand that forgiveness will make you wake up from the collective dream and that there are multitudes of worlds dreaming themselves into being through eternity. So which dream are you dreaming? And what dream do you choose to participate in? Or will you even choose to awaken from the dream completely? Through forgiveness, we unwrap the layers of denial and judgment. Love is your true home. All else is illusion. People are frightened and love to have labels given to them, but that's also an illusion. Labels aren't real. They are only a costume worn by Christ. Dreams don't limit themselves. Dreams are eternal, and there are as many ways as we have an imagination. I'm actually voting for open contact with our galactic brothers and sisters, as they are a reflection of us. They are us, and they also know that we are the voters, and we vote through our hearts. Galactic civilizations throughout all dimensional planes know that they are an eternal spark of the One. They also know that there are as many realities as there are divided minds or souls. You will find peace in knowing that there isn't just one way to experience. We are here on earth to dream what we want into reality, and people will continue to dream and create separation until they are ready to face themselves and wake up. Reality is just a definition and an agreement, and we will create new agreements of what life is in a higher expression, and therefore experience a broader perspective of what is. This is what is happening now on earth. As a collective mind, we will rise to the occasion and express ourselves within another tune or level of all that is. But remember that what we experience are still projections and isn't where you will find truth. It's just that we co-create in oneness instead of duality. Some really think that there is only one way and that all else is wrong. You will even wake up from the dream we call the universe and move beyond all dimensions, time, and space, and be aware of the dream we call you and me and all the others. Some people really enjoy living in duality and all its dramas. They love it and wouldn't want to leave it, no matter what. And there is nothing wrong in that. Others will feel that they don't need it anymore and want to create and experience other things. So, ascension is for those who are ready. It's nothing super special that will be forced on anyone. It's just a natural thing. Yes, the mind is caught in duality, and through judgment we make it real, and we stay focused in this world. Forgive yourself and forgive the world. I mean true forgiveness. This will loosen the glue of the ego, and you will know God. I will repeat myself because it's needed. The mind needs to hear things many times to get it, as you say. People believe that there is a good way and a bad way to live life, but none of these are real. Only love is real. God is, and is even beyond the concept of energy and this temporary universe. Just because this life is like a dream world does not mean it's better to live in a higher dimension than here and now. Higher and lower are also illusions. All the tools, like meditation, crystals, and mantras, are only tools towards self-realization that God is. You will find your way home through forgiveness. But we have to realize things step by step from the level we are at now, creating from our hearts. I'm just pointing to the God that is as a reminder. I'm not saying don't care about this world. I'm just saying that there are many levels of truth. I know within my heart that there are no ultimate truths, and God is. Everything you believe about others, everything you project at others, comes from your mind and has nothing to do with the world. People will play their roles in this dream until they are tired of it and understand that it's not real, that duality is just an unending game projected by the ego mind. Don't wait for any revolutionary changes. Be the revolutionary change yourself, and forgive the world and yourself, and return to God. You won't stop existing, but you will not be glued to duality any longer and become lost within it. You will be in this world, but not of it. This is ascension. If you become angry when reading this, forgive yourself and start from there. Whatever comes to you when reading these words has nothing to do with the words. It's a projection from your mind. Forgive yourself and you will become aware of the illusion. It doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. What matters is that you can forgive it and know that truth isn't found in words or physical symbols. It is within you. You will become like Jesus. He lived and knew about this world as it truly was. He knew the secret of the secrets, that there is no separation, that we are reminding parts of ourselves to come home, as you say. Jesus even stated that this world is just like a dream, and he did know that everything within this dream was not real or important. He pointed towards God within us as truth. For me personally, I understand that this reality can be compared to a dreamlike state, and that we can be conscious within this dream called life. I can actually feel that matter is very empty. It doesn't have value in itself. We give it value through our projections. We dream a collective dream, and we think of the people around us as someone else. We can wake up from this dream through forgiveness. You have to become forgiveness and live it. This is coming to you in many lessons, where you may feel ready to throw in the towel, as you say, but it's not anyone else's fault. You feel this way because it's a lesson in forgiving yourself. Everyone is innocent on this planet, but people will continue to blame until they understand that what they see within the world is within our unconscious mind, but it looks like someone else is acting on it. We need to heal it through forgiveness. There is no separation. I can repeat myself many times concerning this. Darkness is an illusion. Darkness is only a projection of your deepest fears on this movie screen called life. We make it real because it's in our unconscious mind script. And this is not a movie where we are separate. It's a movie where we are all one. What you hate and deny in others, you hate and deny within yourself. But your ego will never agree with this. Every person is a symbol of what you need to forgive to be free of your unconscious mind. Through forgiveness, we release it and even undo it. It's like we cut it from the film roll. I'm feeling that everything I have written throughout the years are only like carrots, luring people into their own heart's truth, where my words don't matter anymore. I'm just like the carrot in front of you that you try to grab, but you will realize that this is only a part of the game. We all give each other hints. I'm very humble in my role because I know that there is nothing to learn or teach other than to wake up from this duality ego dream to God realization. God is so much more than a word. It's a complete state of bliss, and you will feel things you cannot describe. You will not feel that living in illusions is boring. You will feel that God is truth, and that illusion is just like a dream. And you will feel it's natural to be a light and a way shower for your brothers and sisters in humble gratitude, as you are only helping yourself. All these ideas about ascension into the fifth dimension are absolutely beautiful, but it does not matter. What matters is that you look at yourself and forgive yourself and every human being that is different than you and does not agree with you. Don't get stuck in awaiting scenarios. Accept that your life will unfold as it should. If you forgive and ask your God heart to show you only truth and highest wisdom, it will be given, but it will come to you when you least expect it. Let go. Let God. If you felt the sensation of total oneness, you would just feel as if time had stopped, and you wouldn't have to change anyone. You are God, and you shine through everyone's heart. It's even beyond joy. It's beyond the beyond. Instead of getting lost in worlds within worlds within worlds, and dreams within dreams, and so on, you can focus on your relationship with God, because this is who you are. The higher dimensions are just a more aware state of beingness. It's not better than being here. When you are within the heart of God, you will feel complete, whole, peace, love, bliss, and you will feel at home everywhere, no matter where you are, no matter what happens in the world. You will know that what you see and what you are cannot be separated. Would you judge yourself? It's like splintered minds within God that are on their path of remembering. Embrace those parts of yourself within the world that feel lost. You will be a traveler within dreams, but you will always be at home within God. You cannot be better than anyone or higher than anyone. It may seem like that, but that's because the illusion is structured this way. The more you judge the state of this world, the more you will feel trapped by it. Forgive it, and you will feel it isn't real, but you give it fuel due to the fear of letting go of it. Everything, including all the terrible experiences in this world, is a projection of the unconscious mind that belongs to all of us. But we want to blame others rather than forgive the world and ourselves. As I've said, people could be terrified if they understood the truth directly. They would not understand it. They would close their minds even more and become even more confused. That's why it's being presented with all of these carrots of spiritual paths or techniques that feel comfortable. But it's only a tool to get to the next tool, and so on. Some truths have to be given in portions. We even have to forgive ourselves for what we believe is true, because we cannot know truth. Truth is always expanding. We learn and remember through practice, but our ego thinks it can practice later and that we first have to learn. If you can accept and embrace that you don't know anything about something, you are free. There is nothing to know within illusion of form, but our egos really want to believe that there is something of importance here to achieve. When we aren't here to save anyone or to desperately convert anyone into their hearts, just as you cannot force a flower to grow. You are here to be a conscious dreamer and put it into practice. Everything else will come as fruits of that. Spirit knows itself already and wants you to come home, but you are given symbols that you can understand within this world to bring you back to self and God realization. We have all heard that we should just accept our feelings and be with them, but we all have an unconscious mind that needs to be healed. The only way to heal it is to forgive the judgments you project onto others. The world is within you, so you hold the illusion of duality by projecting blame. By forgiveness, you heal the unconscious mind. So, see every external happening as an opportunity of forgiveness, because it's a symbol for what is within you. It will set you free. To be honest, I feel it's really hard to forgive some of the madness of this earth, but the more I practice forgiveness, the more I understand that it frees me from the illusion, and it also heals the collective unconscious mind. We all affect each other. The mind is holographic. Even the law of attraction is illusion at one level. People won't like me now. Just kidding. Everything is illusion, but at what seems like different levels. Through forgiveness and healing your unconscious mind, you will attract whatever you need without even thinking about what you need and why you need it. Attracting things because you think you want them is not always necessary. It's just a form of denying who you truly are. You don't need to attract God to yourself. You just need to awaken from the dream. It's always our unconscious mind that decides what we attract to us. So we can try to attract whatever we want, but it will never come until we forgive.